Hello and welcome along to the bronze medal match between Australia and India at the Hero Champions Trophy 2014. Coming to you live from the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar, where there is another fantastic atmosphere out here for this bronze medal game. India looking to win their first medal since 1982, and Australia, who've not missed out on a medal since 2006 when they finished fourth. There are India away to our left-hand side. Australia in the gold and green away to the right. And still everything to play for in match 23 of the tournament, the penultimate match of the 2014 Champions Trophy, and the last major international tournament for these players before the Christmas break. But there's a chance to have a look around the stadium, the crowd getting behind the boys in blue. India missing out yesterday in their semi-final. They lost 4-3 in the end to Pakistan. Australia just away to the right-hand side.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Australia. Please remain outstanding for the national anthem of India.
It's our penultimate game of the tournament, and it does feature world champions Australia against the hosts India. Australia ranked #1 in the world, unable to make it through to their 6th consecutive Champions Trophy final. 5 victories in a row, but they've relinquished their title this year. But here's how they start in the bronze medal match. Lovell takes his place in goal. Sorrello, Dawson, Ford, Ockenden the captain this evening. Budgeon, Goads, Simpson, Ogilvie, Beale, Kavanagh, all in the starting 11. Tim Devan makes his 100th appearance in an Australia shirt today for Graham Reid's side. Australia, who've played 5 in the tournament, won 2, lost 2, and drawn 1. Their last match of the tournament then. And their opponents, the hosts India, with Srijesh in goal, Rupinder and Gajinder back there in defence. Kottajit, Manpreet, Dharamveer, Garbage, Uttapa, Sunil, Akashdeep and the Maya, all in the starting 11. Captain Sardar Singh starts on the bench, normally features within the early minutes with all the player rotations. Roland Altmans, the head coach, has seen his side play 5, won 2 and lost 3, including that loss yesterday in the semi-finals against Pakistan. 4-3 the final score there. Australia losing out in the semi-finals 3-2 to Germany. Dikang Chen blows the whistle one end for us of China, and Peter Wright of South Africa the other. So then that's all the introductions done. 4 quarters of 15 minutes to decide our bronze medalists.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Here we go then, the keepers are in place and we're all set for this bronze medal game. Push back goes Australia's way. Push forward, in fact, from Goders, who finds that first ball through to Ford. And Dawson there as well, just feeds it infield. Now Australia have it over on the left-hand flank. Australia, the Kookaburras, the defending champions, remember, and hosts from 2012, 13 times winners of the Champions Trophy tournament. And here they come down the left-hand channel with Kavanagh. Goders. A few feet in there, you pick your choice, it'll be a free hit for Australia. India then on the back foot, the world number 9. Australia very much favoured to go on and win this game, but as we've seen throughout the tournament, so many surprises. And Simon Mason has been watching the whole week unfold. It really has been an interesting tournament, hasn't it, Simon?
Interesting, incredible, all of which has been added to by the fantastic crowd and the atmosphere, and I'm sure this game is going to be absolutely no different. India have really grown into it. This is one of the players who's done fantastically well. I think Sunil has been one of their standout men. He's been outstanding in attack, and finally players such as Ramandeep and Akashdeep have started to deliver on their promise. Great run outside the left foot, playing the ball across, but with no outcome.
Akashdeep was his target on the far post. Akashdeep, one of the youngsters in this side, and 2 goals in the tournament so far. And as you highlighted, Sunil, one of the danger players, the number 24 for India. Straight back down the other end then for Australia, looking to get their noses in front, and just a bit of stick contact there on the edge of the circle as Ogilvie tried to round his man. Darren Veer over on the right-hand side now. Just started this game if you're just joining us. Australia 0, India 0, both sides looking to finish strong in the tournament and come away with a medal. Remember, we said Australia haven't missed out on a medal since 2006. Could this be the first time we see the world champions going home with nothing? India try and get away out of that corner, but they were pegged back with 6 or 7 gold shirts there.
The Australian press, when they do that, is a scary thing to stand behind. You just think, I can't afford to make a mistake, because if I do, they've got 4 or 5 passing options.
Here's Ockenden with the counter-attack ball. Again, it goes back to Ockenden inside the circle now, looking for a foot, and the first penalty corner of the game. Good clean tackle from Manpreet. That sign there, Paddy Goads, just indicating that his players were in the right place, and he just wasn't able to thread that ball through as Rupinder now picks the ball up inside his 23, and again Australia buzzing around him like bees.
Well, it's an interesting tactic, Mike, because I felt that in the game yesterday that we watched, Rupinder was really effective when he didn't come forward with the ball, and Australia, by isolating him, not giving him a transfer pass and making him run with it, and that's when he can be a little bit guilty of turning the ball over under pressure.
Yeah, India don't really want to be caught in possession back here, certainly not in this half of the pitch. Let the ball do the work, as they say. Here's Darren Veer. Now a bit of turn of pace, but a great tackle back from Eddie Ockenden, the Australian captain. Just got his stick around there in the nick of time and tapped it out for a sideline ball. Ockenden with 1 goal in the tournament as well. Australia with 14 goals, 4 and 12 against in their 5 games. Here they are now with Kavanagh. Stumps that ball off to Sorella, who's their leading goal scorer with 4. No doubt we'll get to see the big dog should Australia get any penalty corners. None as yet in the first 4 minutes of the game.
And the penalty corner flickers, most of them in this tournament have been doing exceptionally well when they actually put the ball on goal at the goalkeepers. The number of them that have gone through keepers is unbelievable.
Funny that, isn't it? Wetton with the ball forward that finds Orchard on the backhand there. Tomahawk cross came off an Indian stick, so it'll be a long corner as Garbage tap on across the baseline. Again, it's Orchard this time, and again, Rupinder getting to it first. Drawing the foul. Again, Orchard trying to find a way out, just crabbing his way down that left-hand touchline. Nye has the ball robbed off him. No advantage there, says the umpire. And there was a very easy foot in the end. Garbage, it's come off his left foot, I think, and it's a penalty corner earned by Eddie Ockington. First of the game.
Cheap penalty corner. It was where the ball was given away. Garbage just didn't get his feet right. He was backing away from the ball that was pushed in. Should have come forward with a flat stick to get his feet outside the circle. Lack of awareness of where he was in relation to the play.
See Chris Sorello taking his place in the Australian huddle. He's been the main man for Australia from the penalty corners. There he is to the left of your picture, number 5 for Australia, Chris Sorello. 4 goals in the tournament so far for him. 3 for Jeremy Hayward as well, who isn't on the field as yet. So you've got to expect that this is going Sorello's way to put Australia ahead. Forward with the injection. And into stick stop, comes out to the top of the D. There is Sorello, run down by the #1 runner, Gajinda, who got everything behind it and doing well to deflect it off his stick for a long corner.
Well, that's incredibly brave defensive running from Gajinda. To charge down Suriello, nothing more than a stick and a pair of shin pads and possibly some knee pads.
And a whole can of bravery. Gajinda doing what he was supposed to do. There he is.
Pace off the line. I mean, that's hit him plumb in the middle of the grip of his stick.
So 5 minutes gone and still no goals yet as that ball comes sailing towards Tim Devan on his 100th cap. There he is now backtracking to gather the ball. The Australian number 19 just flicks one over the stick to Orchard, who gathers control again for Australia, and now they can take a little bit of time to pick their pass. Sorello down the left-hand flank now, infield to Craig. Interception though from Rupinder. And here is Lalit. Back through Sadar, who now is on the field, having not started the game. Kottajit plays the ball forward. Nice simple build-up this for India, and that's all they've got to do. As Dinesh tries to get one in, reverse stick pick, only as far as Kottajit, who gathers back to Manpreet now.
Oh, good for India to recycle the play. The pass that had come into the circle wasn't great, but because it was bobbly, the Australian clearance wasn't particularly special either. So if India can just get these second and third phases of play, it'll draw the Australians out of their deep defence.
2 bites at the cherry there. Lalit first of all, then Ramandeep, neither of which could gather the ball in for India. And now they press high, forcing Australia back inside their own 23. Wetton gets his feet round, and there's a bit more space to operate on the right. Here it is with Orchard now able to stride forward, puts that one in front of him to Craig. Can't get past Kottajit. Still he keeps coming. Gajinda misses the tackle but recovers second time round. Good pacey exchanges in this first quarter. Australia 0, India 0. Australia with possession. Jake Wetton takes the quick self-pass, gets going into the circle, fishes one back, deflection, goal! No, says the umpire. He's called it out. That's come in off an India stick, has it? What's he called there?
No, he's called it in off a foot, Mike, because it was definitely touched inside the circle. This steal from Wetton into the circle, goes on his reverse to get it across. It's come off an Australian foot. There's a big push, however, from Kottajit in the middle on Tom Craig. There's a huge shove in the back, and in the end it comes off Tom Craig's knee into the goal.
Good camera angles there to break that one down for us. Well spotted, Mace. And it's still Australia 0, India 0. India now with possession in the attacking half.
And you've just got to get their press right when they step out and they are aggressive, when Australia hold the ball deep in their own 25, because they can step out and press the Indians, but if they don't get the midfield lines right, it's an easy pass out.
Well, simple is the way India need to play. That's when they play their best hockey, just doing the simple things. Gajinda here looking to make the 100% pass. Kottajit away to his left. Virendra Lakra, the local boy down there, sweeping at the moment for India. There's Sadar. A little bit of extra pressure here for Virendra, kept his cool and feeds Raghunath down on the right-hand side. There's Ramandeep, lets that one fly, but only as far as Devan. Field to Orchard, who's under pressure from Dinesh. Akashdeep as well, back there, and India have it. Chance for Akashdeep on the backhand, over the crossbar. That's the best chance of the quarter for India. Fell to Akashdeep.
But Akashdeep, I'm afraid, shouldn't have shot. Look at the support in the middle of the pitch there. That was the pass. They're looking down the middle for Upadhyay. If he'd managed to just take that across, he could have taken the pace off it and Ali could have just knocked it into an empty net.
Those are the sort of chances India need to convert. You're not going to get too many chances against the world champions, but a very, very good chance indeed to go ahead. They'll start again inside their own half. India ball from this near left-hand side touchline. Kottagir over the ball for India. Deep into his own half now, Lakra. Australia just channeling India down this left-hand flank. Oh dear, there's a bobbly one for Kottagir to deal with. Does well. Lakra again to Sardar.
Sardar looked cross-field and decided it wasn't a good idea. He was absolutely right, it wasn't. You don't want to be coming out to divide at the pitch in three. You don't want to be coming across all three channels. From 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 is fine, but going across all three is just fraught with danger.
Look at the space out here for White, who picks up the ball, has Craig in front of him, goes himself. White driving the circle all the way across the baseline, and it'll be a restart with an Indian 16 at the top of the D. They're both sides with their chances inside this first 10 minutes. Australia could very well have gone ahead through Tom Craig. Just shinned it into the goal though, and it was disallowed. And at the other end, Akashdeep blazing one over the bar. Here come India again. That was a ball intended for Ramandeep from Uttapa. 1 goal in the tournament so far for him. Here's Sardar, gets the restart and goes himself. Good cover tackle though from the Australian number 12, Jacob Wetton, who was back there and got some stick on it. And that enough to take it away from Sardar Singh, the Indian captain.
Yeah, Jake Wetton with real pace as Sardar Singh drove towards the Australian goal. He's running back from behind, and because of the noise here, it's unlikely that Sardar Singh or any player is going to be able to understand or hear the communication around them.
Little tip out into touch from Garbage there, who we see jogging back to take his role in the heart of the Indian defence. Australia come back out and round now, and this is Tristan White. Ball forward, finds its target, onto the reverse stick, little floated ball in behind there from Flynn Ogilvie.
Great reach tackle from Beale down that left-hand side. But Rupinder Pal in the heart of his own circle, that's what he does so well. Uses his reach and his frame and his understanding of the game to get in the right lines to deny the opponents. You just don't want him to be dribbling the ball out of his own defence.
Never really want that from your defenders, do you? Always gives you an edgy couple of moments. Gets the heart racing when you see your defence trying to run it out from the 23. Here's Sunil up the right end of the field. Manpreet. This is Thamaya. Deception there, and it falls to Orchard. Again, scrappy stuff in the midfield as Australia look to regain possession and control of this phase of play.
And it's scrappy in the midfield, but only because both teams are contesting that midfield so fiercely, neither wanting to give any quarter. And it's not until they get into that attacking third, both sides, that their flair players, the pacey players, can really have an effect. Deflection
ball into the D wasn't too troubling for India. They are in a spot of bother here though, in their left-hand corner. Australia have their possession back down in the corner. England, of course, played their last game today, beating Belgium by 3 goals to 2 to finish 7th. Belgium finish 8th. Netherlands beating Argentina as that ball comes firing, and no danger there, and Australia just saying there was a foot outside the circle, so we'll come back for the free hit. Netherlands beating Argentina by 4 goals to 1 to finish 5th. So this the bronze medal game now between these two sides. Australia versus India. No goals as yet, as that one is blocked. The Route 1 goal denied by India, and it'll be another long corner.
Taking some incredibly hard work by India to get on these lines to goal, so Australia can't crash balls in. That's not a particularly pretty tackle from Ramandeep. I'm surprised he didn't get penalised.
Yeah, no advantage there, so White takes the quick self-pass. Then the ball cannoning all over the shop here, ping-ponging around. Sardar with 3 gold shirts around him, the last touch coming off an Australian shirt. I think it came off Daniel Beale there, so it'll be a sideline ball which Raghunaut will take, and I expect him to go high here. Deep options. Well, he's taken too long, and so Ford now takes the quick restart. Can Australia capitalise here? End of the first quarter coming to a close. 1.5 minutes left to play. Australia 0, India 0. There's a ball forward to Sunil now. Again, tries to turn his man, beats Cerello. Quick restart from Uthapar. And there's a green card here for breaking down play for Beale, it looks like.
Yeah,
the Australian 23.
Sorry, yes, Beale not 5 yards away from where the free hit was taken. It's so difficult to tell that as a player because the passage of play was so fluid. The whistle went twice within about 3 seconds. If the guys are running forwards and backwards to try and get in the right place, the difference between 2 yards and 4 yards. But he was about 4, I reckon.
Raghunaut now with that jalebi spin turn, just tucks it back onto the foot of Ford and is trying to get something from this last play of the first quarter. Again, drives it forward, but Cerello takes a clean tackle and Ford comes away with it. Cerello with the restart. There's Daniel Beale, who'll sit 2 minutes out in the sin bin. Green card for him. Australia in the meantime down to 10 players as Hayward tries to get past Manpreet.
Great tackle from Manpreet as he came down that sideline, picking the ball off really cleanly. Great balance and awareness because he only had about a metre to work with to get himself in the right place.
Both sides with chances then in this first quarter. No goals in it though, unfortunately. It's still Australia 0, India 0, and this the final passage of play. Rapinda thumps one cross field. Diagonal ball intercepted. And that will be the final play down that right-hand flank with Andy Ockenden. So then, end of the first quarter. No goals to report. Australia 0, India 0. So one of these teams will take home the bronze medal this evening. If it remains scoreless or even a draw at the end of full time, then we will go to a shootout. India gather around their coach Roland Altmans. Australia come in to gather around their coach Graham Reid. And we still have 45 minutes remaining of this game. Rest of the chances then for India, for Akashdeep, Indian number 27, and also Tom Craig, the chance for Australia. Those are the only 2 chances in the game so far. One penalty corner in it went Australia's way, and nothing too much for the Indian crowd to cheer about this evening in the bronze medal match. Remember, India losing to Pakistan yesterday 4-3, Australia losing to Germany by 3-2 yesterday to set up this bronze medal clash. Welcome on board if you're just joining us. 3 quarters of hockey still to enjoy. About 30 seconds to go until the second quarter gets underway to take us up to half-time. Your thoughts on that first quarter, first of all, Mace?
Well, India have been relatively poor trying to come out of their deep defence. They need to play to their strengths. Sardar Singh at centre-half keeps being swarmed by Australia, so going into him is particularly dangerous. The Aussies, on the other hand, just need to keep pressing. They're doing very, very well at creating pressure. They just need to be careful to offset their defence. So whichever side the ball goes, slide the help side defence across to deny the one-on-one eliminations of India.
Sardar Singh won't start the second quarter, didn't start the first half. Will be India to start. No, Akashdeep giving it back. It's actually Australia. Here we go. Australia get us underway for the second quarter then. It's Australia 0, India 0. It's the 13th time that these two sides have met in Champions Trophy history, and there is a shot from Ford looking for the deflection, far post from Wetton to open the scoring, and that the best chance coming inside the first 30 seconds of the second quarter.
Look at the takedown from Russell Ford as he comes in. The overhead ball was delightful. He was looking to make the goal wider. Wetton was in support. He's gone short hands to make sure that he doesn't squeeze the ball down into the turf.
That was Ockenden trying to release Wetton again, but it's been intercepted down the right-hand flank. And here's Sunil now. That change of pace, good cover tackle from Cerello. But there was a bit of foot in there as well, so it'll be a free hit just outside the circle. Here's more space for Manpreet, shoots from outside. Definitely looked like it was from outside the circle.
It was so far outside, they can't take that to TV. It was about a good half a metre. As he starts to swing, he was 1.5 metres. He lashed it though.
This would have been one of the contenders for goal of the day, but look how far outside the circle he is.
Not very far is the answer. It was probably about what, 15 centimetres, I guess, 6 inches by the end. He found the middle out of his bat for that one.
Heck of a goal. Well, it certainly got the fans up off their seats here at the Kalinga Stadium. Let's have another look at it. Much easier to see from that first angle we saw.
Yeah, it is, but it was deceptive because it's when a player starts to swing and the ball is still moving. I mean, he was probably a good metre outside the circle when he started that swing.
Ramandeep now picks up the charge on the baseline, thumps one across towards Sunil. Who's going to get first to that one? Darren Veer's not. It's going to be Craig, who just plays the ball off. Good counter-attack hockey from both sides here in the second quarter. Ball forward from Beale, finds Wetton, ducks inside. Good tackle. Bit too much stick on it though, says the umpire. Australia have the ball on the right-hand side now. This is Budgeon. Crossfield aerial. Dug out the ground from Kavanagh. Thumped in, looking for the deflection. Again, it was Gajinda that got something on it to take it away for a long corner as Wetton was lurking on the far post.
And as I was a little bit critical at the top of the show with the Cash Deep and Ramandeep not really having the outcomes, Wetton's a little bit the same. He's one of my favourite players in world hockey, but this tournament has just not really fallen for him. He's been busy and industrious, but no real outcome from what he's been doing.
Jacob Wetton with 2 goals in the tournament so far. There's that backhanded cross from Ockenden. There's Wetton on the far post.
Absolutely prepared to commit himself to everything. I mean, he's led the Australian team defence really well with his running and his closing down. But to be honest, that's probably why for Australia they're in the bronze medal game and not the final. Because it's been good team play, but no outstanding individuals.
An energetic start to this second quarter then as Australia look to get inside the circle again and try and manufacture another penalty corner. There's a foot earned by Manpreet. So India will have the ball back. Still Australia 0, India 0. From the 12 previous meetings, Australia have come out victors 8 times in the Champions Trophy. India just the twice, or just the 2 times. Good English, wasn't that? 2 draws in there as well.
Cottagit turned it over at centre midfield by taking the ball too far back in his stance.
Ockenden all the way through to finish and complete to open the scoring. Wetton from quite a tight angle lobs it back to Ockenden, who scores. The opening goal of the game goes Australia's way. Eddie Ockenden the scorer. It's Australia 1, India 0. Well, it all came from that interception in the midfield and then Ockenden doing all the legwork and getting the goal.
Yeah, Rupinder Pal stayed a bit too static on the edge of his circle. Cottagit had been done. Srijesh did everything that he possibly could. That's static tackling. That's not a man who's on his toes and able to move. Great decision from Wetton to draw the goalkeeper. That's class international awareness.
And Australia take the lead on 19 minutes through Eddie Ockenden. India with the restart then. Sardar pumping it out to the right-hand flank. Darren Veer just ahead of this ball from Garbage. Darren Veer now with the aerial forward looking for Garbage, but isn't going to go down anywhere. Kavanagh picks it up and will leave this for Sorello, who I wouldn't be surprised if he just thumps this one in an aerial fashion upfield. See how far he can get this one. Oh. False start there. The umpire just moving the flag out of the way. Thanks very much, Mr. Wright. Aerial ball comes. It's about a 50-yard aerial from Sorello. And what about that? And this forward line running onto it. Goders. Now Wetton has it jabbed away from him. Long corner.
It's a great teamwork between a pair of attackers because as the ball went crossfield, and it was a huge overhead from Sorello. One player chasing, one player providing supports as it went into that bottom corner. Wetton then led into the circle to give the passing option.
Kavanagh brings it down. Orchard. Goders again, leading out wide this time. Good leg work from the Australian forward. Now throws one into the circle. Rapinder's there. Wins the free hit. Advantage played. Sardar now with a bit more space. Not too much in front of him. Has Ramandeep way out on this left-hand flank. The Meyer and Darren Veer exchanging passes. This is Darren Veer. Elects to keep possession. Cottagit, crossfield ball. Garbage. Lakra. And backhand hit. Be a sideline ball for India just inside their own half. So Australia 1, India nil. If you're just joining us, Eddie Ockenden linking up with Jacob Wetton to give Australia the lead after Ockenden picked it up in the midfield. Ran 50 yards, played the 1-2 with Wetton and slipped it just underneath Srijesh to give Australia the lead. Now India trying to get back into this game.
Super Australian defence, great little interchange. The first tackle was at full reach. India haven't managed to get it back.
Now into the circle, there's an aerial ball up. Is it dangerous? Yes, says the umpire. He's allowed the advantage to play on. There really wasn't much of an advantage there for India. And I think they would have preferred the penalty corner.
Not one there, Mike, particularly when Australia have streamed forward. One of them is the fullback, Sorello's into the circle. If Russell Ford can find him.
Ford was the highest line. Sorello is still high on the baseline. Bit of a nosebleed up there, Sorello, who's used to playing at the back. There he is on the baseline. The big dog earns a foot. It'll be a long corner as it goes off across the baseline. All the way out, back and round. Dawson with that touch. Out to Kavanagh now. Devan on the left-hand side. His 100th cap. The ball comes in. Little deflection away from Godas. And it finds Raghunath. Onto the foot of Ford. Free hit India. Crossfield aerial this time. Oh, what a ball that would have been. Not too far away from the Indian 32. Damaya underneath it. And Nikin, who scored last night in that match against Pakistan.
Yeah, Raghunath and Sorello having a how far can I throw an overhead competition. Both of them huge men.
Good reach from Ogilvie. Backhand cross. Again, Sorello was up there on the top of the D. Ford keeps it in play, just. Back through Dawson. Dawson again here on this right-hand side. Mum, I believe, played a couple of internationals for Australia back in '94. If my research serves me correctly. If not, let us know at FIH_hockey. Hockey in the blood. The Dawson family. Is Gajinda trying to wriggle free. Little shove there from Orchard on Gajinda. And have a look at this.
There's a shove there because Gajinda's pulled the ball through his feet with a long drag. So as Gajinda's played that long drag push, his sticks caught Orchard across 1 foot.
Ganesh can't get past Kavanagh. Australia have to retreat for 5 metres. And Mustafa has to come back through Sadan. Crossfield ball is accurate. And now down the line to Darren Veer. Orchard just jabs that one away from him. 6 minutes remaining then. Australia 1, India 0. India to get back into it. There's a ball into the circle, deflected away by Devan of Australia. Nikin this time the quickest to react, and that's a loose pass. Gives Australia back possession. Ford here with a bit of space on the right-hand side. Who's going to win this battle? It's Virendra Lakra that gets there first. Peels out strong. Garbage now with a little bit of extra pressure put on by Godas. Gajinda will receive it on the right-hand flank. It's a little short pass this time into Darren Veer, who tries to chip it over Chris Sorello's stick. No go, says the big dog.
Yeah, better team defence from India. They will turn the ball over every now and again, but as they do so, they just need to get some cross-field defence. So in that instance, Virendra Lakra was coming across. Sardar Singh could then disengage from the ball carrier. He wasn't quick enough to be able to get it back. He could disengage, step back to the head of his own circle.
These two sides met in the Champions Trophy in 2012. Australia going on to win that 3-0 in the semi-final match. Here they are in the bronze match as Ford thumps one across. No danger there. It will be a 16-yard hit for India.
So Ford's picked it up. He's just taken it outside his left foot. Srijesh jumping, the legs apart. Confident that there was nobody there to get a touch.
There is Lalit with a good first touch. Tries to take it round Dawson. Offload to Raghunath. Thinks about going in on the reverse side. There's his little jalebi turn, trademark. Now there's that ball in, almost a mirror image of the one that he threaded through the other night that led to a goal. But that's the dangerous angle that always, if you can get someone to get a deflection on it and steer it goal bound, is the danger ball. Manpreet plays that one up, advantage played from the umpire. Kavanagh picks it up, this is Hayward. Eyes up, there's a slap ball forward, pinpoint accurate again to Orchard. Goders, back to Orchard, dips in field. There's the ball offlaid to Beale. Manpreet gets a touch on it. Lalit gathers for India, obstruction there from Hayward. India will have the ball in the midfield, just this side of the attacking half. Akashdeep, confident reverse stick track that was, but also some equally good defending from Budgeon. Because Budgeon sets off on a run upfield with White now in possession. Budgeon ahead of him. Wetton as well, also on the top of the D. Sadar. The stick tackle there, ball goes out into touch as well.
Yeah, Sadar wants to make things happen, but he doesn't need to try and run into contact. There's so many gold shirts around him when he has the ball. He just needs to get some help on triangles. Imagine he's the middle of the 5 on a dice. He needs forward and backward passes on both left and right hand sides of his body.
Good visual that one makes, 5 on a dice, not heard that one before. But exactly right. Backhand pass by Rapinda. Through Barendra Lakra, and this is Raghunaut again on the left-hand flank. There's Ramandeep with a bit more space now. Just under 3 minutes left to go. India looking to equalise, there's a chance. Well, that was the cleanest of touches from Budgeon, the Australian defender. Showed good promise that last Indian attack, just unable to get numbers the right side of the ball.
Yeah, there was Indian players leading into the circle, but they'd overrun it. They were in front of it. They'd got too close to the goal as the ball was pulled back.
Just the 1 goal in the half so far. Eddie Ockenden putting Australia ahead on 19 minutes from open play. Here come India though, looking to get one back, going in at half-time. Tadar Singh, the captain now. This is Sunil. Room on the outside. Chases on here. Stephen commits and takes it away from Lakra. Sideline ball India, quickly taken by Sunil. Getting his feet round, great work there to find the foot, no advantage coming from it. It'll be India's ball in line with the umpire. Peter right there playing a slight advantage, but now India have a chance just outside the circle. No, outside the line, and he wants it played in. Manpreet on the backhand, there's a ball, goal bound. Long corner. They're getting closer and closer to this equalising goal, India. And we get closer and closer to half-time. Manpreet with the restart. Comes out through Sadar, playing deep here on the left-hand side now. Cuts in field and eliminates Ogilvie. He's got a deep pass through Rapinda. Garbage over on the right-hand side, instead coming back through Barendra Lakra. Here is Rapinda again. Sunil just in front of him. Clean take from Goders. Now some defensive work for India to do here as Matt Goders comes back, driving all the way. A good 50-yard run from him. Again, it finds Wetton. Can he find the 1-2 again this time? Ball across the face of goal. Still Australia come forward. This time Sridesh pumps it away. And the umpire saying that one came up dangerously. Australia will have their second penalty corner of the game just before half-time.
The passage of play started way further back with India turning the ball over. Wetton picks it up, goes across the circle. Srijesh launches into it, kicks it up, Kotich takes it down, hits Sadar Singh's foot in the middle before Srijesh clears. It's a little high, but it's not dangerous. There's no ball pace on it. Godis knowing that he's won a penalty corner.
Currently Australian 1, India 0. This to make it 2-0 going on at half-time. Remember, India have been letting in those goals late on in the half and late on in games in this tournament. Hayward is at the top of the D alongside Sorello. Which way is this going? It's coming Hayward's way, takes the flick low into Srijesh's right, comes up again off the keeper, and will be a follow-up penalty corner as Hayward flicked that one goal bang.
It was a powerful flick with no real direction. Srijesh collapsing on it so it doesn't go down the middle. This has to be an Australian tactic because that's 4 corners we've seen from Australia that have gone straight down the middle through goalkeepers.
At Hayward's angle of choice. Sorello alongside it. There's the view from behind the India goal. Having to run those brave lines to try and deny Australia a goal here. Sorello and Hayward swap places at the head of the D in American football style fashion. It's come Sorello's way this time, who just offloads it to the injector. Good save from Srijesh, who was aware where Ford was, and that'll be a long corner. Final few seconds of the first half then. Australia 1, India 0. Australia trying to get another one on the board before half-time. They've got one last chance. Here's Ockenden, the goal scorer. Overlapping ball to try and find White, but Lakra just needs to play it cool here, and Sardar runs it down in the corner for the final few seconds of the half. Glasses on, analyst Graham Reid and head coach Graham Reid will analyse that first half. Just the one goal in it. Australia 1, India 0. So Australia coming close there in the dying minutes of that half, looking to get 2 in front against Rupinder Pal and Sardar's India. There's Manpreet, been working hard out there as well, but just the one goal in the half to report. Eddie Ockenden, the Australian captain, scoring on 19 minutes after he broke in the midfield. Played a 1-2 with Jacob Wetton and then slotted it past Srijesh for the one and only goal of the half. So 10-minute break for the players, and we'll take a short break as well, but do come back and join us for all the concluding action of this bronze medal game between Australia and India. At half-time, it's Australia 1, India 0. Welcome back to this bronze medal game between Australia and India at the Hero Champions Trophy 2014. Half-time, Eddie Ockenden, the only goal scorer this evening so far. Australia 1, India 0. And if you've missed any of the first half action, don't worry, that's what this bit of the show is all about. Time to bring you up to speed. Here is India's best chance of the half. Akashdeep blazing that one over the bar. He had Lalit on the P spot waiting for it, elected to shoot, didn't even get it on target. Tyler Lovell making a spectacular Superman dive save. This is Ockenden with a driving run through the midfield. Wetton thinks about shooting, lays it back to his skipper, who slots it home for Australia's leading goal. And there it is then, the one goal that separates the two sides. And they could have made it 2 here, right at the death of the first half. Ball back to the injector, Russell Ford from Chris Sorrello. But Srijesh at full stretch here on the right-hand side, just diving there to deny Ford a second goal and Australia a second goal. So there are the half-time stats. Australia 1, India 0. Simon Mason, former England and GB goalkeeper, is alongside us watching this game. Let's get your overall thoughts, first of all, Simon, on what we saw there in the first half.
Well, Australia look a lot more dangerous when they have the ball. They bring it forward with ease. They're able to put high presses onto India and deny them easy possession. India have had the circle penetrations, but not really meaningful opportunities, whereas when Australia get in the circle, they do look like they're going to come out with something, and their corner routine is ferocious.
Yeah, Australia, as we saw there from the stats, have 3 penalty corners on the board already. India yet to get a penalty corner inside the circle, but we will look for some of those later in the second half, hopefully. Kajinder and Raghunaut waiting in the wings, as are the fans for this second half. Just under 3 minutes to go, so let's head down pitch side with our reporter Debayan Sen, who is with the Indian head coach Roland Ortmanns.
We dwell on the first half. It must have been disappointing after yesterday's performance, but what's good to see is the boys have bounced back and looking quite up for it.
Well, of course, it's difficult after a game like yesterday. We were very close in reaching semi-finals, but in the end we just didn't make it. But you still have to play, and you can still win a medal. So there is no choice. So immediately after the game, we came together. We had a small debriefing, and we gave them a number of hours to overcome the disappointment and prepare themselves for this game. I think so far the pace of the game is not at the same level as it was in the semi-finals, to be honest. So we try to raise that and see if we can bounce back from this scoreline.
Well, one thing noticeable in that first half was that the Australians were pressing you quite deep. So how do you plan to counter that?
Yeah, well, we know that, but we tried to press them deep as well. So that's why it's a rather open game. And, well, I think especially in the midfield, we have to bring more transfers in our passing system. And then we will create more chances in the second half.
Well, all the best for your final 30 minutes in the Champions Trophy.
Thank you.
Some chat there from Roland Ortmanns, the head coach of India, about the mental preparation after losing to Pakistan yesterday 4-3. How tough is it to come back the next day and get yourselves up for a big game like this? And like he said, still a medal to be won.
There is still a medal to be done. What is absolutely crucial is that they have specific targets to try and achieve. The game in itself and its context is relevant, but you just have to get through it minute by minute, so every player has a real close focus to go through.
He also touched on the scoreline. Australia lead here by 1-0, and the fans can certainly play their part. Still in good spirits despite that loss yesterday to Pakistan. Australia losing to Germany in their semi-final by 3-2, and both sides keen to finish the 2014 Champions Trophy and 2014 with a medal. Here we go then. Second half action about to get underway. It'll be India playing from left to right as you look at the screen. Some good saves late on there for Srijesh from that penalty corner in particular. Russell Ford almost steering Australia 2-0 at half-time, and India will have the restart and the start of the second half. There's Nitin Thamaya over the ball. Australia's goal scorer Eddie Ockenden. Everything to play for. 2 periods of 15 minutes. The third quarter seconds away from getting underway. Here we go then. India playing from left to right. Aerial ball from Manpreet goes straight down the throat of Beale, who gathers the ball for the Kookaburras. Here they come, 1-0 up. Eddie Ockenden the scorer, with Godas just throwing that ball out now to Ockenden on the right-hand touchline. Takes a little slip, as does Matt Goders. Turf still slippy here in Bhubaneswar, the Kalinga Stadium, home of the Kalinga Lancers from the Hockey India League. Gill gathering the ball, but under pressure there from 3 blue shirts, and comes away with the free hit. Threads the ball forward, interception this time from Kottajit, as the ball was intended for Russell Ford.
Yeah, we heard Roland Altmans talking about the counter to the Australian press is to press yourself. That's exactly what India need to do. If they don't hassle and harry the ball carrier, then they are going to lose simple possession through midfield, because they'll lose those 50-50 battles.
Ben Simpson coming in on Manpreet there. Looked like a fairly clean-shaved tackle, but obviously the umpire's got a good view of it down there. Peter Wright on that far side and Dekang Chen on the near side are umpires for this game. Australia looking to rob the ball here, one-on-one at the back. Matty Goders goes himself. Support coming back in the end. It's going to be a tight angle shot for Srijesh to deal with. Almost a lob, in fact. I'm not sure that's exactly what Goders intended, but take a look at this one if you can.
And a steal in the midfield. Coming away from that as the game changes.
Yeah, absolutely, end-to-end stuff as Nikin comes down that left-hand flank. Manpreet now in the midfield. In cover tackle this time from Ogilvie. Gabaj clips one in, deflected away by Kavanagh. Overlapping run from Ogilvie again. Flynn Ogilvie down the right-hand side. 1 goal in the tournament so far for him. Little ball into Simpson. Nowhere to run for Simpson. Budgeon now to Kavanagh. Cirello to his right, Dawson to his left, and that's Goders in front. Loads of room on the right-hand side for Budgeon. Still Australia lead, 1-0. Ogilvie gathers. Tomahawk cross, deflection. Srijesh made sure it actually came up off Kottajit, and the follow-up shot from Ford was wide.
Kottajit not sure in the middle from this reverse cross that he could let it go. Didn't. Srijesh got a little bit too much on it. Ford with the second shot.
Pacey start again to this third quarter, with India now back up the attacking quarter as well, with Darren Veer playing that ball to Gabaj on the overlapping run into the circle, has it tapped away for a long corner. Darren Veer straight over to take it. This is Sunil. Showed good pace in the first half, as he's done all week, in fact. There's the ball thumped in. Darren Veer, this time it was Cirello that played the 1-2 off his keeper. Both keepers getting early touches in this third quarter, courtesy of their fullbacks. There's another ball in from Gajinder, this time easily picked by Fergus Kavanagh, who just made that one look easy as Wetton brings it down and makes it look equally easy. These skills, I have to say to anyone new to the sport, not the easiest to pull off. It's years and years of training and practice, and both these sides making it look easy out there.
They're making it look easy just to receive balls that are coming in, fired in at 70, 80, 90, 100 kilometres an hour, which is the truly impressive thing, stopping the ball dead and putting it where you need it for next phase of play.
Hours of practice, and I'm sure there's some young aspiring Indian talent watching from the stands here, saying that they'll have seen some of the world's best, the best of the best, all in action here at the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy 2014. The concluding weekend, our final 2 matches, this the bronze medal between Australia and India, and Australia drive forward looking to make it 2, tried to tuck one under Rapinda, but it bounces back as far as Sunil, and now Darren Veer picks up for India. Sunil sets off on that lead run in front, allowing Darren Veer to tuck inside. He has Akashdeep to his left, Ockenden just getting a touch, takes it as far as Sadar, the captain, and a foot there as well. Oh no, my bad.
I was absolutely with you. I was sure that was a foot. Sadar had come in from the subs bench, which is why he was in the right place. The square ball had got a second touch.
Goders, first touch, phenomenal. There's the layoff ball. Simpson again. Now Australia will just enjoy a period possession. There's Cirello, thinks about going on that diagonal ball. There's the first time ball forward. Goders onto the forehand side, tries to get something from it, parried away by Srijesh in the goal. Sideline ball, Australia.
There's Gajinder and Goders, there's a little tap on the back. The players just stepping apart, because on the clearance that had happened slightly earlier, Gajinder had caught Goders.
It's Wetton taking on the Tomahawk side. Now onto the forehand, looking for the foot of Darren Veer. Sunil again comes away with it, dumping it off, but Darren Veer throws the overhead ball. Akashdeep and Sunil in chase. He comes to make sure. Lovell just booting that one off into touch. Backtracks to get in between the sticks.
Tyler Lovell had to, because he had to know how quick Sunil was.
Wettenbach doing some defensive work, and now plays in Orchard, who's got an equally lengthy stride and able to counter-attack here at pace for Australia. Walked into a bunch of tackles there from Gajinder and Dinesh, and I think we're going to see a card here for one or both. It's for Gajinder. He'd just been warned by Peter Wright, the South African umpire, for that physical play inside the circle. He's then come in with a huge tackle there, and he's got himself a card and he's in the sin bin. So India down to 10 players. Devan now back through Hayward, and crossfield now to Dawson. Dawson has Kavanagh in front. Inside the circle now, again looking to try and find a foot. A little lifted ball in only as far as Lakra, who works his way along the baseline. It goes over the baseline, in fact, so it'll be a sideline ball and a long corner for Australia. Ford over it. Amandeep just trying to get his body in the way. There is the green card for Gajinder Singh. 2 minutes in the sin bin, 2 minutes India will be without him and down to 10 men.
Yeah, it was a clumsy tackle, wasn't it, in the middle of defence, and when you've just been warned, the umpire's almost got absolutely no chance but to pull the first card out.
Saw Russell Ford there, he's made his return to the Kookaburra squad. No goals in the tournament for him as yet. Lalit picks up the ball, but he's being channeled and shadowed down that left-hand side. Pulls it back, no one there. Australian defence, Tristan White sweeping it away as far as Wetton. This is Simpson. White joins in support. Simpson again back out. Climb through Orchard. White plays the 1-2 with Orchard, and Devan over here on the left-hand channel. Dawson ahead of him. Diagonal ball cut out, almost, by Rapinda. Didn't quite trap it, so it'll be a long corner for Australia. 7.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Australia 1, India 0. Ockenden scoring after 19 minutes. Here come Australia again. Another sideline ball, another long corner, which Ford will take. They need to get out of here if they can and change that channel.
Yeah, India putting pressure on, but when they try and attack the ball, they open up the baseline slightly. They need to make sure they come in from baseline side to force the ball away from their goal.
Australia have won the last 3 Champions Trophy outings against India, dating all the way back to 2002 as they look to get 2 goals up here. Rapinda comes round and sweeps it away. There's Lalit, cuts in field. Sardar away to his left-hand side. Does enough to find the foot of Flynn Ogilvie and win the free hit. That's a bit of a loose pass, though, from Raghunath, though, that takes it out for a half-way line hit.
Raghunath knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to go cross-field to find Sardar, who led off the blind side. So when the ball would come down one side of the pitch, quite often a midfielder will disengage from the play and do a longer lead on the far side to give a cross-field pass.
India doing all the work in defence at the moment. It's all Australia as far as offence goes. This is White. Well read by Nikin, who stepped in front of his man there, but takes it only as far as White, and that's what India are doing. They're carrying it into tackles and allows Australia to get in around the back again, looking for a penalty corner. Goda's there, and it's come off his foot, so it'll be India ball. Here's a look at some of the stats from the game so far. Australia with 55% of the possession to India's 45. Translates as 7 circle penetrations to 5 in Australia's favour, and there's the shots on target, 3-1. Australia converting one of those through Eddie Ockenden. They've also had 3 penalty corners in the game. India yet to get on the scoreboard as far as penalty corners go.
And that possession stat surprised me that it's not higher. It feels like it's been all Australia carrying the ball forward pretty much uncontested till they get 30 yards away from the Indian circle when they step out to defend.
There's Sorella, a big crunching ball that goes as far as his opposite big dog number Raghunath, and there's going to be another card here. Wright being consistent, it's another green card and it goes Australia's way. Matty Godas is jogging off towards the sin bin, so it'll be Australia now that go down to 10 players, and this the time for India to strike. Can they take charge of this power play?
Well, they need to carry the ball down the flanks till they get about 40 yards away from the Australian goal. If they try and go through centre midfield, they're giving the Australians the opportunity to swarm defence as they do so well, press into someone like Sardar Singh or Manpreet Singh in the midfield if that happens, and that's when they could still get turned over even when the Aussies are a man down.
India looking to press home that advantage. First touch from Rupinder wasn't the greatest, but he sets off now down that right-hand channel. Still keeps the ball and muscled off in the end by Kavanagh. Can't believe that he didn't get the ball there. There's confirmation of that green card for Matty Godas. Just about another minute or so for him to sit out as India try and score a goal in that 1 minute. There's just over 4 left in this third quarter. Then we'll have a final period of 15 minutes. It's still Australia that lead. Eddie Ockenden doing the damage. And here India trying to break through into the circle. Remember, India can take confidence from that recent series win over Australia in Perth just last month. So they've played Australia recently and they've come on leaps and bounds, not just in this tournament but this year as well. Sardar Singh, the captain, at the heart of the charge and really does lead from the front or the midfield where he tends to play. There's Manpreet now on the baseline, played back onto Kavanagh's foot. Australia are going to go to video referral here. Kavanagh straight over. He doesn't think this came off his foot.
No, but there's a pause here. The Australians are not convinced it hasn't hit a foot. They're not going to waste it. Manpreet went up so quickly, you have to make the assumption that he knew what had happened. Yeah, Shingard, absolutely right.
Well,
Let's go stick first, then Shingard.
I don't know what part of him set off towards the umpire to ask for the video referral, and I think his teammates there noticing that there was indeed plenty of contact on the shin, as you saw there. And India now a really good chance to get back into this game. Rupinder at the top of the circle. Also at the top of the D is Rupinder. Rupinder and Raghunath side by side. India to level things up with Rupinder. It's come off Hayward, the #1 runner. It'll be a follow-up penalty corner and a second of the game for India.
Hayward's not even flinched, and Rupinder Pal has drilled this into his right shin guard. You've got to assume that he's wearing 2 layers of shin pads underneath those socks.
Take 2 for India. Still Australia 1, India 0. This to level things up at the Kalinga Stadium in the bronze medal match. Rupinder and Raghunath again set at the top of the D. Not a great injection. Bobbly shot comes in from Manpreet. Sardar gathers it. Manpreet again has room to his right-hand side. Had follow-up chance. Poached in. Goes in. Yes, it does. Creeps in on the far post. Well, they all had a crack. It worked its way around, and the final touch comes from Lalit, I think, on this right-hand side to give India the goal that levels things up. Australia 1, India 1.
Well, you can't claim this is a deliberate routine. It was awful. It's been crashed in. Sardar keeps it in play brilliantly. Finds Rupinder Pal, who misses it. Manpreet playing it back into the middle of the circle. All of a sudden, Ramandeep has a go, and it finally pops in off the far side from Lalit. It was ugly, but it was effective in the end.
First goal of the tournament for Lalit. Lalit Upadhyay levelling things up for India. Now we have a game. There we go, Australia 1, India 1. Upadhyay levelling on 42 minutes. Good time to score with just under 3 minutes now to play in the third quarter.
Well, India have now got to dig into the recesses of their mind and decide what they're going to do.
They've given away soft possession here. It's taken a great cover tackle from local lad Virendra Lakra to tidy up that mess in the top left-hand corner as we look at it. Still India, Australia have come away with the ball.
India have consistently given stuff away in the moments after they've scored in games in this tournament.
Godas now back on the pitch from his green card suspension, and Australia back up to full numbers. Here's Sunil just giving himself some space. Sorello tracking him all the way back. And what he lacks in speed, he makes up in muscle. Reminds me of the Hulk.
He's a big lad, isn't he? But coming back to that passage of play, India just need to get the right people over the ball. Being critical of Rupinder Pal, but he just hasn't released the ball through safe channels when put under pressure. He can use that big area, just go overhead, take it off the far end of the pitch.
It's exactly what India have done with that ball coming from Manpreet to Garbage. Here's Sunil in support as India thriving on the confidence of that goal they've just scored to level things up here against Australia, the world champions. And India ranked 9th in the world, Australia ranked number 1, and India now inside the circle. There's a little bobbly one again for Devan to contend with. Which way out? That way. Sideline ball, India.
Can you imagine at this level being in your circle, you can see your own goal line and you've got nowhere to go. Incredible composure from Devan in his D.
Playing his 100th game today as well, Tim Devan, as he gives it a little shove there. Well, there's all sorts going on down there in the bottom corner. Sunil and Devan. Well, Devan not happy. I think he felt the stick came through there, standing his ground. And look at that, fire in the belly for this bronze medal match.
Well, the cards are already in the hand of the umpire. There's stick contact somewhere. Sunil goes through here. There's stick contact there. That's accidental because it's just hooked sticks. Devan then pulls Sunil's stick out of his hand and throws it to the ground and pushes him in the first instance.
I think that's because the stick was coming back towards the body of Devan, stopped him, grabbed it, and then chucked it on the floor.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it was because it was caught around the stick. That's the problem. There was nothing deliberate about the stick contact. The stick was caught around the hook of the stick, so...
Well, don't worry, the parents are there now in the form of the umpires, Dekan Chen and Peter Wright there. Handbags out at the Kalinga Stadium. And the umpires just conferring about which direction to blow from that last incident. The Australia ball by the looks of things. Here's another look at the incident.
Yeah, the sticks did come up, but it's because they were caught. Sunil didn't make any movement, and then his stick was pulled out of his hand. That's the reaction that the umpires aren't going to like.
Well, Tim Devan, no stranger to hockey on the continent. Plays, or did play for the Mumbai Magicians last year in the Hockey India League. Be back in Mumbai next season as well, going toe-to-toe with the likes of SV Sunil. You see he's pumped for this game though, and well, it really does show you the character of winners on the field. It really doesn't matter. All these players want to win this bronze medal. Sadly, only one team can. Pumped up by Gavage. Definitely hit, I thought, an Australian stick. I thought that hit White's stick.
I agree with you, Mike, completely. I think as White jumps, he leaves his stick down. It clatters into the middle of his stick. And it's not a foot at all. They can't go to any kind of video because it's not a penalty corner or a goal chance. But White unhappy.
Final few seconds of the third quarter, and it's been a spicy one. India have got themselves back into this game. Goal on 42 minutes from Lalit Upadhyay. Levelling up after Eddie Ockenden put Australia ahead on 19 minutes. So 1-1 the score as we go in here. The final few seconds of this quarter. And a winner yet to be confirmed. So the bronze medal match still very much alive, and honours even after 45 minutes of hockey. It's Australia 1, India 1. Well, what do we make of that then? Sunil and Devan going toe-to-toe in that last quarter. India also getting back into it though, and this game very much alive with 15 minutes left to play.
It is very much alive, but my issue with that is that it's kind of the inconsistency of the punishment. We've seen cards given for off the ball, people in the D holding each other, and yet that was a real face-to-face, toe-to-toe. I might personally not agree that cards should come out there, but given what has happened during this competition, you could see why it may well have been given.
Let's have another look at it.
Yeah, there's a stick flailing up. It's actually Devan's stick as he pulls it away because the stick of Sunil has hooked. The players then absolutely will not give any quarter at all, having a pop at each other.
Handbags at dawn. Does show you how much they want this game, doesn't it? It really does. Bronze medal at stake, and both sides want to come away with something from this tournament. Remember, it's been disappointing for Australia, who've not missed out on a medal since 2006, remember, when they finished fourth. And India, they're looking to win their first medal since 1982 in Amstelveen. So that's what it means, and we've seen that passion translated onto the pitch. And we have 15 minutes remaining in this bronze medal game between Australia and India. whatever you're doing for the next 15, don't go anywhere. And remember, if it's deadlocked at the end of full time and it remains level, then we will go to a shootout to decide our winner. Don't go anywhere. Final quarter action on the way. Here we go. India get us underway in the fourth quarter then. And let's see if they can pick up where they left off. That goal coming on 42 minutes for Lalit Upadhyay to level things up after Eddie Ockenden put Australia ahead on 19 minutes. Akashdeep has a long corner over there for India, attacking that goal away to our right-hand side. There is Ramandeep into the circle, advantage play, but the whistle had gone. That's why he found himself in a bit of extra space.
Yeah, the whole Australian defence did stop to give him that space.
Free hit on the edge of the circle. It's Kotajit has Manpreet as his outlet ball. But look at that, again Australia with numbers round, and there was a foot there. I thought there was a foot. Oh, Sorello very lucky to get away with that, because that was on the edge of the circle. It was either inside the circle or just outside it. Now Australia comes straight back down the other end. That crossfield ball from Ford is cut out, tucked inside by Garbage to make some space. Darren Veer now offloads to the left-hand side. This is Uthappa that picks up the charge. Route 1 ball is on. And a good cover tackle this time from Budgeon, sliding in all the way along from this left-hand side to pick up the ball for Australia.
Yeah, good forward movement. Sunil had lit out wide to give the pass through that inside line. Budgeon composed as he drove across the circle. Sorry, across the ground. If the defenders go to ground deliberately and the ball then hits them, they're going to get penalised by cards. So they have to be incredibly controlled when they do so. That was a fine example of a sliding interception.
As far as major tournaments go this year, Australia and India met in the World League in January. Australia coming out 7-2 victors that day. And they also met in the World Cup in the pool stages. Australia again coming out 4 goals on the board this time. Final score, Australia 4, India 0. And as we said, India taking huge confidence from their recent series win against the Australians in Perth just last month. They've really come on leaps and bounds in the last 6 months. And in the last 12, I'd say over the last couple of years. Sorello picks that one up. And India not 5 metres away from Sorello when he did. So they have possession here just inside the attacking half.
Oh, that's harsh, because Akashdeep had backed off to a good 5 yards, and it was the second phase play that he managed to come back into and steal the ball off Australia.
Moritz Förster there to the right of your picture. There he is. Well, at least he's got a smile on your face. If you don't know why, it's because he's in the final of this year's Champions Trophy with Germany. That game coming up next. It's Germany versus Pakistan in the 35th edition of the Hero Hockey Champions Trophy. Make sure you don't miss that one if you can stay with us. In the meantime, this is Dawson, Australia looking to finish with a medal here. That ball goes as far as Rupinder. Now Sunil, who is involved in a bit of a tussle with Tim Devan. Devan making his 100th cap today and making his stand in a Rocky Balboa fashion for Australia. Australia now into the circle. Rupinder comes away with it again.
And he's been exceptional in terms of his defensive lines and getting in the way of interceptions. It's been his distribution that we've questioned just slightly. It's a tough task for India to get out of these bottom corners. Somehow they need to get their feet around the ball and give themselves the metre of space, which is all these international athletes need, to find the passing line, the fraction of a second to get the eyes up to see how you can release the ball.
It's tough at any level, isn't it, really, getting out of those corners? You wouldn't know, you're a keeper. Aerial ball comes in. Srijesh can watch that one safely off the pitch. It'll be a 16-yard hit for India. And Sorello hasn't been firing on all cylinders from Australia's 3 penalty corners today. He went for a slip option, which Srijesh saved in the first half. Here's Sunil then, 1-on-1 at the back to take the lead. Oh, he tried to lob the goalkeeper. Now off the back foot, pumps it wide. Couldn't get past Charter in the Australian goal. Went for the lob and scuffed it.
You have to perceive this is like a one-on-one that we would see in the shootout. He's got to come in. He needs to make the goalkeeper change his line. I mean, that's just, even if it had gone over the top of Charter, it would have got picked on the line by Budgeon, who was back to cover.
So much easier to watch in the replays there, but if he'd taken it back on himself and played the tomahawk shot, he would have at least got something on target. Long corner for Australia.
I agree with you completely, Mike. It's where the goalkeeper sets himself. Once he's stationary, it's really difficult to then move a second time. So if you get in there, get the goalkeeper as he did, run at him, go right side to the weight changes, go left side and your right, tomahawk underneath, would have been far more effective.
Offloaded ball to Kavanagh. Orchard just pops one back into Simpson. Crossfield now. More space over there for Australia to operate if they wish to. Back to Kavanagh on the left-hand side. Now through the midfield where Ockenden broke in the first half to score. Here's Sorello now with a bit more space. Almost in basketball fashion, working the top of the circle. Ramandeep's not going to get to that one first. Kavanagh covers. Now Sorello again. See, India not making it easy for Australia to get through these lines and these channels. Orchard has that one fished away from him by Rapinda. Now crunches it in again, little deflection into the side netting from Garbage. It'll be a long corner.
And India not making it easy for Australia, but they are carrying the ball forward well, Australia. India play a combination man-to-man and zone defence. Man-to-man in front of their goal and then just holding around the edge of the circle. So as the ball goes laterally, they can make relatively small movements until the ball gets to the corners when they all step out.
Kavanagh now sprays it out to the right-hand side. Again, India, all 11 players behind it as Ockenden gets his feet around and his eyes up. Sorello. England beating Belgium earlier today and Netherlands beating Argentina in the playoff stages in the classification matches. So Belgium finishing bottom of the pile, England 7th, Argentina 6th and the Netherlands 5th. This is the bronze medal game between these two sides. Wetton on the backhand takes the shot. It's fallen in front of Srijesh and cleared up by Matty Godas. And Australia have the lead here. After Wetton's shot, Godas was the quickest to react. It's Australia 2, India 1.
Well, as Wetton gets the ball, he leads across. Srijesh's weight's just slightly backwards. Look, back in his shorts, he doesn't get the contact he needs. It's the underside of the kicker. He knows he's made a mistake. Godas just launches himself at it, the tip of the stick digging under the ball and past Srijesh's flailing right hand.
Predatorial instinct of Matty Godas gets Australia in front on 52 minutes. Australia 2, India 1. So 8.5 minutes remaining. Remember, we have a 40-second break after every goal, and whenever there's a penalty corner awarded. Now we get back underway in the concluding part of this bronze medal game. So just under 8.5 to play. India again in possession, but they trail here now, both sides with their video referral intact if they need to use it. Orchard now comes forward to the goal scorer, Godas, and now White has Hayward outside him. Line ball is on, finds Ford. Buttigieg, who's back there, along with Dinesh. Sideline ball. Again, toughest corner to get out of there, those left and right high corners. Advantage played. Agenor trying to earn something here. Good strength as he tries to keep the ball alive. Thinks about going on the backhand, just toying with the Australian forwards there, and did well to find Sardar after all of that.
Sardar then needs to be careful. It's that dangerous pass. It's played diagonally into him. He offers an out ball all the time, but it's just under pressure.
And Australia certainly putting on this pressure now. This time on Gajindu, who has the ball robbed off him. Ford picks it up on the top of the D, bounces off the stick, and it's fallen to Simpson. Dinesh gets to it first, so Mustafa comes away with it. White tracks back. Good ball forward to Nikhil Thamaya. Just nicks inside of his opposite number, Kavanagh. Leaves the ball for Sardar. Here's Dharamveer. Again, a good ball forward that finds Lalit, scorer of India's first goal on 42 minutes after Eddie Ockenden put Australia ahead in 19. It's Matty Godas that separates the two sides. His goal and strike coming on 52 minutes, and 2-1 the score with just under 7 minutes left to play. Aerial ball this time for Australia, straight down the throat of Birendra Lakra. Robbed again, this time Orchard gets the ball for the Kookaburras. Next phase of play with White. Oh, first time sweep from Godas, and there was some contact there. Is he all right? Yeah, he's back on his feet. Back foot shot, and it was Orchard this time with that back foot shot.
Brave defending. There was a massive clash on Birendra Lakra at the edge of the circle.
Simpson has a go all the way. Simpson driving as far as the P spot. I thought he was going to go all the way there. Now Lalit breaks, and India have numbers here. It's 4 on 4 if they can get their eyes up. It's Akashdeep nicking ahead of him. Raghunaut is over on this right-hand flank. Lalit opts to go down the left. He can get inside the circle and they can win a penalty corner. That's the best they can hope for. Free hit over on that left-hand side. Anish comes back. Bottajit now to Lakra. A short one into Darren Veer. Change of the angle. It was ahead of Raghunaut. But that was the right idea, to try and put that sequence of passes together to change the angle. And there was a clear route to goal there had Raghunaut picked that one up.
Yes, that decision-making when you receive the ball, knowing what you're going to do next to move it on. The Indians, if they can recycle, as a stick was broken in midfield, as Godas is going to go and have to go and try and find a replacement.
Whilst he does that, India come forward. This is Darren Veer, Australia down to 10 men and a penalty corner. They were able to take advantage of the extra man and the overlap.
Well, the question being is, why is that not a card if it's perceived to be deliberate? Obviously not perceived to be deliberate. Why it's not a card?
India do get a penalty corner though. It's their third of the game, and it comes with 5 minutes remaining. Currently Australia 2, India 1 if you're joining us for the closing segments. This is how the corner came about.
Yeah, and it was the back stick just before that passage of play on the right-hand side of our screen. Obviously touched as it goes through, trying there to deny the ball into the circle. Hayward not rotating the stick over enough.
There's Raghunaut closest to us, and Gajinder just past him. Both options here from the top of the circle. It's Raghunaut, lays it off for Gajinder. Follow-up shot, oh, wrong side of the post from Akashdeep. Could have crept it in there on that near post. It's going to be Australia ball. That was a really good chance to level things up.
Australia ran a high 2 defence, and in doing so were able to get on top of the slip. A suggestion there on the first tackle was ugly, but it falls to Akashdeep. He could so easily have poked it in that bottom corner.
Yeah, that and the far post was open from that angle of the slow-mo that we saw. 4.5 minutes remaining, still India with a chance here. If they can take it to 2-2 and get it to a shootout, that's what they'll be trying to do. Australia just sat back at the moment, as you'd expect. They've got that goal barrier, that goal advantage to rely on. Lakra with Garbage to his right. This is Manpreet. Tucks inside Orchard. Now back through Sadar. Raghunaut over on the left-hand side.
He'll spin inside, that's what he does, and then deliver.
Oh dear, he's missed it. This is a chance for India. Oh, Akashdeep with the extra touch. Why didn't he just put it straight in? Akashdeep tried to come back on himself and really should have taken this first time. Raghunaut doing all the hard work. And there the grimace on Roland Altmans's face. This was a really good chance.
I think Akashdeep was right to go back across the goalkeeper, but he just couldn't get the ball in. I think Charter had it covered on that near post.
White denies any further access for India down the left-hand side. Garbage tries the right and has Manpreet under his arm. He even comes out to try and block this ball in. Ford is there as well, but they can't stop Garbage coming through. Fortunately, Sorello is there to tidy up. 3 minutes left remaining. Australia 2, India 1. 3 minutes left for India to get a goal back. There's the foot of Wetton. India ball. And India have had their chances in the last couple of minutes. All they need to do is carve out one more chance here. Rapinda plays in Birendra Lakra. And the ball back to Garbage. This is Sadar. Where's he going next? Oh, straight on is the answer. Powers forward. Sadar now with Lakra on his right-hand side. Sunil is inside the circle. It's going to be a long corner. Remember, Australia, they haven't missed out on a medal since 2006, and India looking to make history. They haven't medalled since 1982. Ball in from Raghu goes up off an Australian stick.
I'm not sure how that's a free hit to anybody. It's just been driven in, it's popped up, it was landing. No danger where it was landing. Oh, and India have had the free hit turned over for it not being in the right place.
Well, how costly will that turnover be? We're inside the final 2 minutes now, and Australia will be in no rush to take this. Step up the big dog, Chris Sorello, who is just going to throw this one down the other end. Cross-field ball. Finds its target as well. What about that for a pick? Spin inside from Ogilvie. This is White. Up against Sardar, and there was just a little shove in the back there. Nothing too heavy, but enough for the umpire to blow the whistle. And again, Australia break down play and take off another 5 or 6 seconds from the clock. This is Devan, looking to celebrate his 100th match for Australia with a bronze medal.
Well, India now just have to throw caution to the wind. They need to throw at least one forward up into the circle. They've got the men who can throw long ball. Raghunath, Rapindapal, both of whom have got awesome long flicks.
India have to get it down the other end. Sunil trying to run it there. Has the overlapping run from Raghunath. 1-2 with Sunil, now into the attacking 23. It's Ockenden tracking him back. India looking to level things up here. Sunil goes to ground. It'll be a long corner. And we're inside the final minute now. Australia 2, India 1. India need a goal back. Raghu keeps it low. This time Ramandeep claws one away. It's come off on Australia's stick. Another long corner for India into the dying minutes of this game. Raghu makes the spin. Devan's there to cover tackle. Again, threads it out wide. Australia looking to retain possession down in the bottom corner. Godus, who broke his stick moments ago, back on the pitch and wins the free hit. Inside the final 30 seconds now. India must stay high. There's Srijesh down the other end. Nothing he could do to deny Eddie Ockenden and Matti Godus, scoring on 19 minutes and 52 minutes respectively. India's only reply coming from Lalit Upadhyay. We've got a kicking back coming in the form of Gajinder, and Srijesh makes way for his kicking back. That allows India to play everyone forward. The final 20 seconds, Sorello on the ball. There it goes. The aerial brought down by Lakra. And he's taking it out into touch. Oh, the final play looks as though it's going to go Australia's way, and they could finish with a goal here. Little spin from Ogilvie. There's a foot just outside the circle. Will they have time to take it? I don't think so. There goes the hooter, and Australia pick up the bronze medal here in the Hero Champions Trophy 2014. They've beaten India by 2-1. Well, a good game in the end. India certainly made a game of it. The world number 9 coming up against the world number 1, but Australia just too strong, and in that final half, India were unable to convert the chances that they had. Akashdeep certainly had a couple of chances to get India back into this game, but on the day, you've got to say a fair result. Goals for Ockenden and Godus for Australia, Lalit Upadhyay scoring for India, and Australia going home with the bronze medal.
Yeah, and I think that's a good outcome for India overall as a process, because at one point it looked like they were going to be overwhelmed. They held in tight and gave themselves the opportunity to step forward and try and get an outcome.
There's the full-time score, Australia 2, India 1. Well, so much to talk about from that game. Sadly, India can't make history. Remember, they were looking to win their first medal in the Champions Trophy since 1982. The Australians the first to go over and congratulate their team mates and then also their opponents. Good to see out there. A lot of these boys playing in the Hockey India League with Srijesh and the likes of Sardar and the others, and they'll all be back to do that in January. We look forward to that, that's for sure. Well, if you missed any of the game, we've got plenty of highlights from the second half. This was a really good chance for SV Sunil to make it 2-1 at that stage after India had come back through Lalit Upadhyay.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there, but all of a sudden the Australians were right back into it after the chance. Wetton comes in on the backhand. Srijesh doesn't clear. It's a good reaction to try and get second phase, but Godus was there first. Wetton just getting something on target. Inches away from a good clearance, but right in the side netting.
Here's another chance for India, and this time it came from a penalty corner. Gajinder getting it just stuck under his feet, and Akashdeep could have buried that near post. And here's another chance as well. We talked about them, and there were plenty in that final session. And really there again, Akashdeep should have and could have found the target to level things.
Yeah, he definitely should have done. He had 2 opportunities there, should have taken one of them.
There, a look at the final match stats. Australia 2, India 1. Shots even, 4 apiece. 13 circle penetrations on the night for Australia to India's 10. Fairly level as far as possession in the opponent's half goes. Australia none from 3 from their penalty corners. India scoring 1 from 3 from their penalties. But Australia coming out as victors and bronze medalists. Well, we have all the post-championship celebrations and the trophy being awarded as well to either Germany or Pakistan later this evening. We've still got that game to look forward to, the final at 19:30 local time. So the final of the 2014 Champions Trophy between Germany and Pakistan coming up. But now we can go to our Hero Man of the Match presentation with Dubai Sen.
Welcome to the post-match presentation ceremony for this bronze medal playoff in the Hero Champions Trophy 2014. Many congratulations to Australia for taking 3rd place, and also congratulations to India for matching their 4th place finish from 2 years ago in Melbourne. Now joining me for the presentation party is Shri Sudha Marandi, who is Honourable Sports Minister of the Government of Odisha, and he'll make the presentation of the Hero Man of the Match trophy, as well as a cash prize for 25,000 rupees to today's Hero Man of the Match, Jacob Wetton of Australia. Jake, not quite the finish that you would have hoped for in terms of the podium finish, but still caps off a very good 2014 both for you and the Australian team.
Yeah, definitely. We've had a very successful year, like you said. Disappointing not to be in the main game, but yeah, happy to finish off this season with a win.
We saw a little bit of you early on in the year in the Hockey World League finals as well, and what's quite visible is that you've developed a terrific understanding with some of your strikers. Who are the guys you most enjoy playing with?
Yeah, definitely. It's a whole team, and then a little team, I guess, in between the teams. So yeah, playing with the likes of the guys here. Really enjoyed playing with the new guys, Tom and Flynn Ogilvie up front. We've got a lot of depth back in Australia, and with the guys like Kieran and GT and Jamie not being here, we've brought the new guys, and I think we've done really well.
You're just 23 years of age, but I already read that you're quite interested in having a coaching career after your playing days. So how did that come about? What do you think about that?
Yeah, maybe later after I finish, but hopefully stay in the team a bit longer and keep playing well for the Kookaburras.
Well, one quick prediction, Germany or Pakistan?
I think Germany might win.
Well, all the best for 2015. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Dubai Sen asking the questions to our Hero Man of the Match, Jacob Wetton there, and well done Australia. They are the bronze medalists from this year's Hero Champions Trophy 2014. Missing some of the big names, as they alluded to. India, unfortunately for them, they finished 4th, but it's capped off another good year for them.
It has indeed, and they continue to develop. Some of the results they've put together have been outstanding. I think there's a couple of flaws in what they do, but they're looking to take things forward. They're looking to step to the next tournament, and the structure that surrounds them is also starting to develop.
Well, India came up against the better side today. Australia, who were the 13 times winners of the Champions Trophy, but relinquish their title now after 5 successful Champions Trophies. Either Germany or Pakistan will become the new Champions Trophy champions. There's a look at some of the other results from the final day's play here. Day 6 of the Champions Trophy. England beating Belgium. Argentina going down 4-1 to the Netherlands. Australia beating India and just in that 2-1 thriller that we've just watched. And the great final to look forward to between Germany, the Olympic champions, and Pakistan, the world number 11. Both finished 4th in their group stage. Both have made it through to the final, and we look forward to your company there.